Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another medicine wheel reading. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for protecting me and keeping me safe. What does the collective need to see and understand and exercise and express? Express. And then the cards just Tower moments. We have the Knight of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Wands, and they're going in two different directions. Collective, we have choices to make. Either way, we go left or we go right. Change is going to come of it. We're bringing in that change. Slow plans, looking back at what was done, looking back at how things have come out to play and how they've taken its toll on a certain situation that you want to change, looking back on the plans and then stepping forward with new plans. Because of change, you see the volcano erupting in the back is the tower exploding and crashing down, walking away from what is no longer needed, what no longer serves us. The plan that we had needs to change. We're preparing our way. We're looking at the future. We're looking at what needs to happen, what we need to prepare for. Change. And we have to face that we can't change certain things. By looking back, we see where we went a different way or where someone else went a different way. That created the change that now we get to walk away from. It's timing too. What needs to happen is going to happen in the time it needs to take because of the Knight of Pentacles. Plan of action. Looking back. Saturn is going into retrograde, so we will be forced to see what we've done. We will be forced to look back at what we've done, the plans that we've made, and see our way to changing those plans. Spirit is asking us to pay attention to what we need rather than what we want. Things that we have made preparation for will change because of the timing events, because the fact that we come to realize this is not what I want, or because of certain circumstances beyond our control, we begin to realize we need to move away from certain behaviors, certain ideas, certain people. Going from the Pentacles to the Wands, we're taking action, picking up the pace. Things are shifting, things are changing, because whatever needs to be changed is going to come when it is time for it to come. Thank you, Spirit. Getting quite a few messages already there. Collective, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Those of us who are seeking healing or deeper insight on people who we're dealing with. That is what this spread is about, this medicine wheel. You know, the last time I did this, I said it was a 12 card spread, but it's actually 11 cards. It's a doorway, it's an opening. It is about what we need to heal, not what we want to heal, but what we need to heal. It is about recognizing what Spirit is asking of us, what our higher powers are asking of us, what our higher self is asking of us, because we are souls that come from previous existence with baggage, regardless if you did good, bad, or ugly in previous lives. Whatever we are coming into this life with, it is the tool that will help us navigate through this life. And this is where change is created on an inward level, where we decide, I don't want this, I want that instead. It's because we're prone to, we're attracted by, or influenced by certain people, places, things, events. And then we are triggered. We are triggered by others, we trigger others. And that in itself creates the changes that we need to pay attention to. So the first card is the psyche. How we're dealing with our inner selves and life in general, and how we are reflecting off of it or reflecting on it. The second card is our emotions, and the third card is our thoughts. The fourth card is our spirituality, or our soul connection to source, God, higher purpose, higher powers. It's like the first half of what the medicine wheel would reflect. This is the self, okay? The other half would be your connection to the source, or if you're thinking of another person that you're dealing with, then their reflection off of you in regards to what needs to be healed, because it's a medicine wheel. Again, it's a reflection off the psyche. Then we have the reflection off of the emotional sense. So your emotional sense, their emotional sense. And if it is that you are looking at the self progress or personal growth using this reading, then this is spirit that is reflecting what you need to look into a little deeper, a little more. This is the emotional sense. Sorry, this is the emotional sense. This is the mental sense. So thought processing. And then we have the reflection off of spirit. So what spirit is guiding you to think, do, say, and how to act, or what you need to pay attention to. Again, I always try to make it like a wheel, but then I get because of the rectangular shape, it changes. And then I want to make sure it fits. Again, it's a little off there. Let me see if I can bring it up a little more. Okay, that should work. Now, I pulled the last three cards at the end, because it's sort of a final outcome pertaining to what goes around here. So those cards I won't pull right away. Actually, no, I will put them down. I'll just put them down. I keep changing how I end, but it's because I don't do this reading very often. So, you know, I'm trying to bring it in on a regular basis, but it's usually when I'm called to do it. And it takes one of the readings that I do in the monthly to trigger this medicine wheel. And I'm not sure which one it is yet, but I know one of them, I didn't think of it, but reflecting like I usually do early in the morning, something from one of the readings made me click to, I need to do a medicine wheel. And I'm not sure which one, but we might see when I turn the cards. So the first card is, again, the psyche here. So we're looking at the Nine of Pentacles. And this is where we've come to a turning point. Again, it's a 9. So we're looking at toward the end of, and it is toward the end of an era, the Piscean era. We're moving into an Aquarian era. And we're really on the brink of it. I mean, you may hear readers have come and gone and said, "Oh, we're already in, and we're there." We're still closing off. We're still closing off cycles, and that's what the 9 represents. That we're closing off the cycles. So, being it's the 9 of Pentacles, it's what we've been doing. It's what we've done in the past. It's what we've accumulated as action and value. See, what has value to us is what we've accumulated, and the work that we've put out, the value of the work that we've done. So if it is on yourself, that you're working on yourself, well, you've come to a place where we would consider it as a plateau, where you're able to look back, as we started off with the Tower and the 2 knights going in the 2 different directions. We're able to look back at what we've done and how we feel about what we've done, and hear this sense of feeling. Again, I'm not mixing up the emotional and the mental here. This is your psyche. This is what promotes your movement on a daily basis. This is what gets you up in the morning. Your outlook, the outlook on your life, the outlook on where you live, the outlook on who you live with, who you deal with, who you are communicating with, who you are mingling with, who you are mixing with. So it could be for anybody, this could be for many people, but it is on the personal level that this card is reflecting on how you reflect on others. And it isn't an accumulation where you are satisfied. Again, the 9. There's satisfaction here. That work that you've done has brought you to a place where you can look back and say, I did my best. It was the best I could do, regardless of the outcome. Now you're resting on what we would call the laurels, what you've done, and you're looking at, well, what do I want next? Where do I want to go from here? There is abundance that has accumulated, whether it is in valor, value, or just how you view your surroundings, where you're satisfied with where you live, who lives with you, next door to you, your neighborhood. If you want to change the place of residence, you're thinking about all those things and how you are affected by such changes. So it's a culmination of how you feel about where you are, what you've done, and the work that has been involved in the work that has been involved in placing you where you are right now. So we're at a point of pivot. We can go one way or we can go another way. Again, coming back to those 2 nights where change is about to happen. That's what comes when the 9 arrives. Then we move into the emotional senses. How do we feel about where we are, what we've done, and thinking about who we communicate with. If we're ready to open up and share our space with another, because we're standing alone here, and we're thinking that we are standing alone, and we're thinking about the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years from this point. What do I really want? And we're thinking of the situation, if there is one, for some. We're thinking of getting into a situation, because here we're at the point of, well, nothing is happening that's making me jump. So being human, we're looking for some kind of interaction. We want to get that one more, that 10th pentacle. And that usually means we're building up a business, building up a legacy. We're building up something that will last. Again, the long term. We're looking into the long term. And then we're reflecting here on how we're feeling about the long term and all of what we've experienced in the long term. And that 8 of Swords is, again, we place ourselves in this position of feeling. We set things up in a way that the outcome is of our own doing. We caused, again, cause and effect. actions that we have taken in the past have put us in a position where we are able to reflect on how the communication, because it's the swords, how our thought process, again, because of the swords, and making decisions on where we want to go. Now, this card usually reflects a lot of confusion, confused mind, busy mind, thinking about everything, putting things in perspective, settling on a particular mindset or thought process. And here, because I'm not doing the reverse cards, we have to look at both sides. So this, where we are, can work for and against us. And this is where we're pivoting. Yeah? We can go one way or we can go another way. Remember, those cards that came out, the Tower, the two knights going in two different directions, the Knight of Pentacles, the plan of action, and then the Knight of Wands, where we're determined to move and act and create something new, start something new. Changing of the plans, going in a different direction. Maybe who we're with, we've decided we no longer want to be there because of the mindset that we're in. We want to change that. We're working on it. We're reflecting on, I've come this far, I've done this much. Why am I feeling stuck? Because that's what we're feeling here. Then we have the mental capacities, where our thoughts are. So we're moving from the 8 to the 5. So we're stepping back here. We're looking at, wait a second, all of what I've done, things I've said, person I've been speaking with, because some of us are actually connecting with other people in this reading. We're thinking about other people. We're thinking about the situation that we are in with certain people. We are looking at how we can get out of. I need to move away from whatever this has me trapped in. And because I put myself there, I'm able to think my way out. I'm able to figure my way out, because this is the mental. This is what we're literally thinking of. If we're going from the 8 to the 5, it's because we're moving back. We're working backwards in that sense. We're trying to figure a way out rather than a way to progress, to move deeper in. We're wanting to move out of particular mindset. And we're willing to do whatever is necessary because we have proven our valor. We have proven our worth by the work we've done in the past. Now we're looking at what the spiritual side is. So again, this Pentacles is the 8 of Pentacles. So we have done the penance for some. We're still doing the penance for some. We're thinking about, if I keep my focus and I keep doing what I've always done, things are going to change for me. I will accumulate more because we're coming from the 9 to the 8. So we're reflecting off of the actions that we've taken. Again, doing what is necessary at all costs. And we're not letting anything go. We're making sure to figure it out. It's an Aquarian thing. And again, the moon is in Aquarius when I'm doing this reading. So we're affected by what we want for ourselves in the future. This again, we're looking at the spiritual sense here of what I have done will bring me more of the same. We have come to understand this. Okay? And Spirit is making sure that we do understand it. This is why we're looking to find a way to remove ourselves from a particular mindset. Because we know that if we keep doing what we've been doing, yes, it's brought us to a position where we are proud of what we've done. But at the same time, we're feeling stuck. So it's a question of breaking up the status quo. Changing the way I work. Again, the mental capacity here is to find a way, figure a new situation or strategy rather than situation, The new strategy will change the situation, but it brings in abundance at the same time because we're working towards the change. Now we're looking at how Spirit, for those of us who are reflecting on our own personal growth, this is how Spirit is going to help us. For those of us who are reflecting off of a particular individual or individuals, depending on your situation, then this is how they are reacting or how they are influencing us. Okay? We have a judgment here. So we're wanting a second chance with you, me, the next person. They are reflecting that things have changed. It's inevitable. Again, the tower coming down. The mindset, the attitude, the money, whatever it is, it's changed. We are waking up now because, again, this is going on your own. This is doing your own thing. This is you saying, I've done my part. I have worked. I have made progress. I have done. Again, it's the actions that you've taken. So certain actions that you have taken has brought the next person to reflect on, hey, wait a minute. My person has done something different. My person is behaving different. I need to shift now. I need to work differently. I want to do something differently. Second chance here. And Spirit is saying, if it is again you're on your own, working by yourself, looking for your own personal growth, Spirit is saying that you have a second chance because you've come to the point of pivot, because you have brought your valor, because you've proven your worth, in other words. Spirit says, yes, you have granted, I grant you a second chance. I grant you that ability to make a judgment call that will bring you more change again, using the noggin. Let's see this emotional sense here. So we have a reconciliation for those of us who are wanting to, those of us who are dealing with others. Okay, so we have this Three of Cups where we're thinking, more likely we're feeling, because it's the emotional sense, okay, that there is a sense and sensibility in group. There is a change. There is that celebration. There is that coming together. Now, it is a healing wheel. So we're not looking at, oh, this is a third party situation. What we will see if we want to reflect off of the threes, because again, the threes do reflect a third party. We're 2 plus the 1. Well, here we see that that situation is changing because we want out of a third party, if that is the case. If you are being drawn in, or if you felt that your reason for change here is because you're feeling stuck and you don't want to be in a third party situation, whatever it is, that doesn't mean it's sexual. It doesn't mean that it is a person. It could be a group. It could be a hobby. It could be family. If it comes down to people who are very close to your circumstance, because they are part of it. If it is that you are dealing with people on an emotional level, because it is the Cups. But to get a base feeling here, just so that we don't get too hung up on third parties with the 8 of Swords and feeling that, oh yeah, my suspicions were right, they are in a third party and this is why, and blah blah. No, we're not looking at that. The 3 of Cups is that inherent sense of growing up where you're taught. What it is that you are taught is how to behave in a group. Again, this is where the third party comes in. You have a mentor, you have a teacher, you have an influencer. Again, that's what I said. This side is an influence. This side is a reflection off of the next person who's influenced you. And here we have to recognize that having this third party very close to us, whether they're a mentor, a teacher, or someone who's influenced you in a particular situation with another person, that is what needs to change. You need to move away. It's as if you need to spread your wings and move off on your own, because you've taken what you can from that third party, and there is no more to come, or there's no more to be had. You've had what you can, and in I say in retrospect, in the sense where when you look back, you've grown. This person, if it is a person, has helped you come to a point of pivot where you need to move away and go off on your own and exercise that which you have learned from this particular person, if it is that it is a person. It's like graduating from school. You go from kindergarten into primary school, and then you move up as you grow a little more. You're going into high school, and from there you're going into college. So you see where I'm coming from. It's a growth in itself. This is why I don't want to take the reflection of third parties as being negative, because this is a healing here. For some of you, it is quite obvious that you have been betrayed, that you feel stuck in your mind and your heart, and you don't want to be in a particular place, and you're feeling that you need to be on your own. It's quite obvious for some, but it's not everybody who's going to reflect that way, seeing this Three of Cups in the emotional sense. And I don't want to bring a bad light to the Three of Cups, because in itself it is a celebration. It is a reflection off of the good times that you've had. And for us to go a little deeper in, it is being that certain people that you're reflecting off of, they're stuck in having that good time, and they don't evolve, or they haven't evolved, and you are feeling like you need to move on from there because you're feeling stuck. You're thinking, wait a second, I've had enough of this, having a good time. I want something a little more grounded. I want something more. It's the basis of all of this. And they're not able to provide that. And this is where you're feeling like I need this. It's like going around. It's like we're not growing here. It's like the same party again, and then wait a second, it's the same party again, and then you meet up again. It's like it's the same again. It's not changing. Why is it not changing? And it is because they are stuck themselves. You remember, this is a reflection off of each other, eh? You're reflecting off of them being stuck, and they're reflecting off of you as time to move on, time to take what you've learned and go to a higher level. Okay, so here we have the mental, and Spirit is saying, yes, it is time for you to commit to something, someone. Because that's where the two comes in. Huh? We're thinking, we're having a strategy on how we can make more change, have a second chance at what? A relationship? Life, a new beginning of where I am, who I am. I see myself changing. I want a second chance at being someone that can be looked up to. Another chance at exercising what I've learned and experienced and taking it to a higher level. A second chance at a relationship. Take it as it resonates, because this is, well, it's simple. It's clear that it is a reflection off of you want to be in a commitment. You want to see a mindset change in another person. For some, you want to see them grow and become more, so that there will be a second chance. Again, growing and becoming more, that spiritual sense here. All right, let's move on and see. Here we have the Ace of Wands. So that spark of creativity, that passion, that again being stuck and wanting more. It's not giving me more of an experience where I was emotionally. I was in a limited sense, a limited mind space, and now I have to move along. And Spirit is giving you creative ideas in order for you to create, make more, have that legacy come, because it's the legacy, when it comes to the 10 here. It's having that legacy, something that's solid, something that is a base foundation that you can leave behind, that will continue on its own. It's what maybe not everybody wants to create a business, but it is in whatever sense you feel you want to leave as a legacy, whether it is your creative artworks, where you create images in whatever form, if it's painting, drawing, sculpture, photography, however you see yourself as being creative and being able to leave that mark and let it have its own life at the end. If it's just having children, you want to raise a family so that your legacy and your name will continue. You see where I'm coming from. It's a question of wanting more, wanting to take what you've done and put a mark, make it into a seal, an emblem, if even. You want to show this is where I was. When I leave this existence, I have left behind something of value. That is where their creativity starts. That is that second chance to build on something. Spirit is working with you and giving you that creative spark. Again, if it is the next person you're reflecting off of, it's like a muse for writers. Someone is influencing you with creativity. If it's not Spirit, then Spirit is sending you that person. Again, with a second chance. Here we have the 9 of Wands. So this would be what we call the outcome. And I still didn't look at the bottom of the deck. And again, the bottom of the deck is the 2 of the Wands. And in this particular spread, I mean, it depends on if I'm called to. I guess I will look at the end because I'm looking at it now. This 2 of Wands, again, taking a pathway. Remember the first cards that fell out where I was saying it's the Tower with the Knight of Pentacles going, looking at the past, making changes for the plan. And then the Knight of Wands for that, moving away from destruction, moving away from the Tower, going into a new avenue, something fresh, something passionate, something fun. Well, this is where that's coming from. And because you're going in that way, you're going to make it's going to be abundance is coming because of it, in whatever shape or form. And here we have our 9 of Wands, where we're healing. That sense of healing. You see the 9 and the 1 become the 10. It is an ending of a cycle. Again, the wheel is turning. The 10 is our Jupiter. That bringing in that perfect timing, that healing. The words or the expression in art or beauty or just creative experiences that Spirit is bringing for you in abundance is going to help you heal. It's going to take you where you need to go. It's going to bring that influence. And then we have our Empress. So which is even more of it's a building up of, because from the 9 of Wands, which we know is a healing point, again, we're building up the trust. When it comes down to a medicine wheel and the 9 of Wands, all of what we would see as a negative is healing in that sense of going towards the positive, where we didn't have the trust. And that could be the trigger that made me decide to do this reading, is because of all of the distrust and the fear and facing fears and having difficulty trusting the next person, because it comes to that toward the end where we're healing that, because we have the Empress who is able to provide a means that we can trust, especially in the universe. The power of love here. See, Venus is in Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. Because I look at the Vedic astrology and I see Venus in Gemini. I think all three of them are in Gemini. But then when you look at the Western astrology, you may find that they're sitting in Taurus. So I don't want to confuse anybody here. See where your Venus is, because that's more important in your birth chart, where your Venus is. And that is where you will find that you're either healing wounds of love, or you're building up trust in love again, or you're wanting to. That's what it's going to come out to be, that we will heal our trust in love, in having that ability to provide for, because we are looking at the Empress here. It's a question of having that understanding of this is what I want. I want to build on. I want to provide for. Everything I have, I want. I trust in the process of the wheel turning, because it's a 10 with broken 10 here, that my time is coming. I believe in. I have faith in. And the third, or the last card, is the Knight of Cups. So I have faith in and I trust in an offer that is coming to me. Wow. And again, we have to choose, because we have the Two of Wands. So it's seeing the bigger picture of what this offer is. Again, looking from Spirit's side, where we're looking at this half being Spirit is providing for me. Again, I'm speaking to those who are doing this, who are viewing this on a personal level here. Spirit is bringing you someone who will bring you to the next level, to rise up. And your faith in Spirit, again, the Two of Wands, seeing the bigger picture, your faith is going to bring the success, because we see here, if we're looking at the wands, okay, this is all the passion, the action taken here. The Two of Wands is where the plans will change. Again, reflecting back on those cards that fell out with the Knight of Pentacles, going in, looking toward the past and looking at the plan that was the original plan and now making changes to it. This is where that offer will come, where you will see your way, or the next person will see their way to viewing how they can come to you, because you are bringing them back in to heal. Again, there's a second chance reflected off of the next person. And if it is that you're not with anybody, or you've broken off and you're not wanting to go back to the person that you were broken off with, because you're finding your way to a new relationship, Spirit is going to bring you someone. Spirit is going to send you someone, because you are in that healing process. Notice that the healing has to happen before the offer can come, so there's no contamination, so that the offer is a true offer. Again, closing off a cycle. That offer coming is going to bring the end, the 10th. See, it's broken up here. Now we have the 10 of Wands. So the burden, and again we have the 12 wands here. So it is changing again, and it is hidden. It is hidden. So very passionate. It's in divine timing again. We can't know. This is coming from unexpected means. You're going to be surprised. Again, the Tower coming down is an element of surprise. And there is the Ace of Cups for that commitment to come in, for a real offer that you will not be expecting because of these two, the 12. It'll come when you least expect it. And then you have the 7. So again, 8 of Cups. So it could be for reconciliation for some, because they feel that they are destined to be with you. And there's that Knight of Pentacles, which I think I picked up. Yeah, it's supposed to be after. So the Knight of Pentacles is, again, the plan, another plan, that fixing of the plan, that looking back on the plan, reflecting on the plan, reflecting on what was the original plan for the commitment, because there was a plan. And then, this Knight is planning for the future. You see? Having to tweak and change is why Saturn is going in retrograde, to give us that opportunity to make changes and focus. Choices here. Opening up all the doors. 8 of Cups, to either go or come back. And that having that ending of a cycle is to say, I'm taking care of myself. I want what I want, and I'm going to open up all the doors. I want something more. You see? The 8 of Cups broken. It's very difficult, but that's where the strategy comes in. Yeah? And then we have the Ace of Swords. So it's all about telling the truth. Going into that deliberation for marriage for some of us. And for others, it is a highly spiritual level of understanding, of self-analysis, and accepting ourselves for who we are, what we've done, and where we want to go, and raising the bar of our own expectations so that we can leave a legacy. Spirit is given a second chance on every level. Let's take an oracle. I'm still using the Woodland Wardens because I find them very soothing. They're very healing, especially when it comes to the medicine wheel. It's pure nature, working with nature. So in respect to the Native Americans, where they work with nature, they learn from nature. Nature teaches us all. I thank you, Spirit. Collective, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, more importantly, for showing up. But I do appreciate when you do share this type of a clip with those of us who are searching or needing to hear certain messages that you may feel connected to the person that you want to share with. It's very soothing. This healing is coming, and again, I'm doing it toward the end of June, but it's not a reflection of, oh, this is happening in June. This is throughout. This is as of. This is when you feel the connection, when you feel or think differently, where you see yourself strategizing, where you feel that pull towards, I need to pay attention to my future. I need to see a bigger picture. I need to look further down the line. I want to heal. These are triggers. These are triggers. You're thinking of a partnership. You're thinking of a particular person. You're thinking of possibility of having a partnership. I thank you, Spirit. What is the oracle message for this medicine wheel read? An offer is coming for some, for all of us, in different ways, in different ways. For some, it's going to be for lots of fun, because I see the otter there. I see for children, babies are being born. Someone wants to take a level, build a family, leave a legacy of children. Oh, it's upside down. Here we have the sheep and the blackberry. Devotion. Yes, you see, Spirit is asking us to pay attention and really hold on to what we want to have for ourselves. That devotion to creating that legacy, whatever it is, whatever it is. The sheep and the blackberry in the bottom of the deck, metamorphosis. So we are changing. You see where I was talking about that reflection emotionally? It is in the emotion that we will create that change. It's how we're feeling. If we're angry, if we're sad, if we're happy, that's where change comes. And then the skunk and the magnolia for protection. Spirit has our backs. And then there's new opportunities again. So it's only climbing up. It's spiraling upwards, which is the best way to go. That's what the healing wheel is all about. To see that we can go upwards, that we can pick ourselves up if we're not feeling in the right way. So let's see what the sheep and blackberry. It's the number 5. So devotion. The sheep and blackberry calls us to focus on our commitments, whether they're to a partner, a job, a creative practice, or a spiritual tradition. Sheep are innocent and vulnerable and must be watched over and guided. Blackberries are symbols of protection with their large brambling thorns. Their abundant fruit also symbolizes prosperity. Combining the energies of the two gives us the direction, honor our promises, allowing them to fruit and flourish. So you see, this is where I was talking about that moving on, moving away from, taking what you've learned, going further, taking it to a higher level, becoming more abundant, having that spark of creativity, that wanting to start something, that Knight of Wands there, honoring our promises, that offer that's going to come in, that commitment that we are going to do at whatever cost to have a commitment, be a true commitment, that mental factor there, and how we feel about where we are and how long we've been there and who we are with or wanting to be with. Devotion, Think of it. Even in a negative, if we're fighting all the time, we're devoted to the battle. So in the upright position, we'll look at that. In what people or practices do you find wisdom and stability? Remember to care well for these sources of guidance and protection. That's the message for the blackberry, the sheep and the blackberry. All right. Let's see the frog and the lotus, the metamorphosis, and that's the 6. So we're spiraling up from 5 to 6. Again, it's 11. It's a portal. It's a doorway. And it's right after. So the metamorphosis. This card reminds us that change is natural, rebirth is possible, and a healing balance can be achieved. The frog, developing as it does from a tiny tadpole, symbolizes transformation. The lotus flower, too, symbolizes rebirth, unfurling even amid murky waters. Going through such a change can be difficult and a struggle, but the resulting metamorphosis opens us to growth, self-acceptance, and happiness. Again, that's what Spirit is asking of us, opening ourselves up, wanting that change, that second chance, seeing that it is possible, that what we've done gives us that merit. And again, healing, finding our way back, being able to trust again. That is where the change is coming. not losing faith in relationships if you've been wounded by the relationships that you're in or have experienced, and feeling that you have to fight your way out of a certain mindset. You will heal. That is where the change is coming. Yeah? Again, it started off with our Nine of Pentacles, being able to pivot, see the change come, that tower coming down. So we'll take the upright again. Consider what in your life needs changing and think about the steps you can take to achieve that change. You owe it to yourself to allow your own growth and rebirth. On that note, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next medicine wheel read, love and light.